All right. Believe it or not, we're not just getting in the show. We're going to apparently do a mailbag.
Mailbag.
We're such wimps.
I'm
Such
pumping
wimps.
it up, man.
I mean, I could talk fantasy football a lot longer than an average show, but today we're just complaining.
Yeah, I was down to 8, but I'm back to 11.
If you have a question, go to the website, thefantasyfootballers.com. Click the Submit a Question button in the upper right-hand corner, and you can call us, 302-464-TFFB.
The crinkle.
Jason just
I've downed my Monster Energy drink. I'm ready for a mailbag.
back.
Let's do this.
squished it. All right. Sean in Cobb County, pick one. Thomas Rawls, Lamar Miller, Mark Ingram.
I want them all.
Ooh.
But you get to pick one.
Ooh. All right, you go, Jason.
For these three guys, Rawls against the Steelers, Lamar Miller against the Jets, or Ingram against the Texans, that is a really tough call. I am going to stay in the Flames at home with Thomas Rawls.
I'm going Mark Ingram.
I'm going Thomas Rawls. All right. Wildo in D.C. First and more importantly, there's a better and more timely name for Charizard, and that is Char Char Binks.
I've heard Char Char
like
Binks.
it.
That's
like
not
it.
bad. Secondly, what do you think? Brandon Cooks against the Texans or Dante Moncrief
Misa.
against the Buccaneers?
Definitely Brandon Cooks against the Texans over Dante Moncrief. You've got Matt Hasselbeck versus Drew Brees. That's the decision to me. Plus, you got the extra bye week for Drew Brees and company. I like Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks.
Peter wants to know, he's wondering why Alfred Blue wasn't mentioned as an RB streamer going up against the Saints defense after his big week. Is the Houston running game that bad, and should I instead go with Sean Drone against Arizona?
I believe he was referring to it as a waiver pickup, and that's because Alfred Blue is widely owned in fantasy
We did
football.
talk streamers in that same game, though.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. It was our stream of the week and stuff like that.
So the question here should be Alfred Blue or Sean Drone. I would prefer Alfred Blue over Sean Drone in this game.
Yeah, me too.
The matchup is fun.
Dabba D.
Yeah.
A lot of Alfred Blue's good looking production last week was on a crazy double pass play where he caught a touchdown from Cecil Shorts.
Wait, that's not going to happen again?
No, I don't expect that to be a weekly occurrence.
Charlie in Omaha, do you think
Charlie.
this is the question I've gotten it. This is now the 1000th time. Do you
That's
think
fine.
Do you think no, it is completely. Do you think about trading Julio before his two matchups versus the Panthers?
Only for Antonio Brown. That's how I see it. If I can trade Julio for Antonio Brown, I would rather have Antonio Brown in the playoffs. But you're not trading Julio for Brandon Marshall, who's been good and has a better schedule. He's Julio. You play him.
And I can agree with that.
too.
However, probability that Big Ben gets hurt again.
I don't think I'm going to bank on that.
I say the same probability that he plays through whatever injury he has.
So 50-50?
So,
That's not very good.
No. I'm fine with Big Ben.
I'm not predicting an injury. I just say that there's at least a 10 to 20% chance that Big Ben goes down again. He's just getting banged up all over the place.
I completely agree with Jason. I'd only trade him in a trade for Antonio Brown.
Okay.
All right.
I would not trade him, by the way.
at all for anything.
Yeah. I'll ride Julio.
So wait. So you
So
got
rest of
Antonio Brown
season-
right now in one of your leagues. Would you trade him for Julio then?
No, because I already have him. I'm not
You get
I'm not
offered-
inclined to
Rest
make the
of
move.
season: Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, DeAndre Hopkins.
Antonio Brown, and this is including the playoffs, right? Obviously. I would go Antonio Brown's Hopkins, Julio.
I would go. Brown would be my number one, and so the concern wasn't will Brown outproduce Julio? It was there's a chance that Big Ben can get hurt again, because he's had a knee problem, he's had a foot problem. These things tend to translate into other injuries. That's all I'm saying.
That's fine. It seemed weird though that you have Antonio Brown better rest of the season, but you wouldn't trade Julio for Antonio Brown.
Because I'm not banking on the injury. Just saying it's a factor. If you have Julio, why not just stay with Julio?
Because you can upgrade to Antonio Brown.
According to you.
Right.
According to
According
you.
to
All
yourself.
right. All right. That's going to wrap up today's show.
No.
Why?
I just want to go forever.
Oh. Well,
We've almost hit the 2. Dude,
it's almost a 2-hour show, so
No.
we're wrapping it up.
no. You got to go for the 2.
Joe in Chicago.
Yeah.
Big Ben or cheesecake, Eli Manning.
Cheesecake? What?
I don't know what that's
Does anyone understand that?
No.
No. Apparently, are they calling Eli Manning cheesecake?
Then I'll go with cheesecake.
I would go with cheesecake as well. Big Ben is my start of the week, but Eli Manning is ranked ahead of him.
Even though cheesecake as a dessert is not good.
It's wonderful. You're an idiot.
You just sound stupid.
Oh, this is you're the one bite cheesecake guy.
But he loves that
I
bite.
still recognize why people like cheesecake. I don't say it's not good. I think it's very good. I just don't love it as my favorite dessert.
If something is very good, would you not want more than one bite?
Oh, I do.
And you are on record saying you like one bite of cheesecake and you're done.
One bite does it for me.
That is not the sign of a very good dessert.
There are plenty of things that are very good that you need to do in moderation.
Moderation
Mike.
is not one bite. That is basically not eating it.
So what are your thoughts on white chocolate?
It's disgusting.
It's
Okay.
so good.
So we know Mike is clinically insane. All right, I'm wrapping the show.
We're so close.
We got 3 minutes.
No, wait, we just gonna talk?
All right, Andy's out. Jesse in Simi Valley, California. Jordan Reed against the Giants or Antonio Gates against the Jaguars?
Oh, that's a great question. Jordan Reed's got the better matchup. The fact that he's playing in practice right now makes me go Rule 86.
I'm going with Rule 86 and Jordan Reed.
Ride the snake.
If I'm out, I'm just hitting buttons.
I like it.
That's all I'm gonna do.
Chris Rosario in San Diego says, love your show. Brandon Marshall against the Dolphins or Jay Stu against the Cowboys in the flex.
That's interesting.
Depends what you need. But
yeah.
I'm probably taking Jonathan Stewart. He's been better than Brandon Marshall for a long time.
I think the Stewart has the safer floor and Marshall has the higher ceiling.
But I think Marshall's floor is also safe. So
I agree.
I think I go Brandon Marshall here.
I'm going to go with Marshall. John in San Diego. Who should I start in my flex spot for Week 12? John Brown against the 49ers, Alan Hearns against the Chargers, or Buck Allen
Javorius
against the Browns? And I'm going with
Javorius.
yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Scott in Montreal. Bonjour. I play in a full PPR league. Big game this week. Major playoff implications. Need to know which two of my not-so-great running backs to start. Latavius Murray, Chris Ivory,
Stop there. There's your starters.
or Danny Woodhead.
Now, you've got Latavius Murray as your sit of the
I
week. Would you
do.
sit him over Danny Woodhead?
Let me
So
see
Chris
what-
Ivory's in, and then the question becomes Latavius Murray versus Danny Woodhead.
Scoring
For me,
format really matters in this situation of a Danny Woodhead sit versus Latavius Murray.
Full PPR, that's true. I still go Latavius Murray. I'm not confident that Danny Woodhead is getting involved with San Diego going forward as much as you hope he is.
It's a week-to-week thing.
I think Latavius Murray, though, he has a base. You know he's getting 15 touches. Now, maybe he doesn't do enough with it, but I want the guy who's going to touch the ball 15 times.
And I do have Latavius Murray slightly ahead of Woodhead in both standard and PPR. Bryson in Kansas City. We're bringing it home with Bryson in Kansas City. Who should I keep for the playoffs?
Playoffs?
Andy Dalton or Tony Romo?
Ooh, good question. Let's take a look at their playoff schedules. Andy Dalton is going to play in weeks 14, 15, and 16, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, and
nice.
Denver. So 2 out of 3 are no bueno. And Tony Romo in weeks 14, 15, and 16 will be facing off against the Green Bay Packers, the New York Jets, and the Buffalo Bills.
Whoa. Sounds like a wash on playoff matchups. I don't think anyone has a huge degree of separation there, so I'm going to stay in the Flames with Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I agree. Just more weapons. Tony Romo's got Des Bryant and a little bit of DMC.
We
That's
did
it.
We did it.
That's it.
We did it.
We've recorded a very long program.
We hit that 2-hour mark like Mike and I
We
wanted.
did it.
Should we have some sort of hashtag for the end of the show to
I
signify
love it.
that somebody made it to the end?
Listeners.
How about fantasy stuffing?
Perfect.
Yeah, that's
Hashtag fantasy stuffing. If
Tweet
you
it.
made it to the end, tweet that.
Love it.
Let us know you got through the entire Thanksgiving meal. That's
you-
what we're calling this.
And you know what we will do? We will like your tweets.
We will click the little heart.
Yep.
And, so thank you very much. Have a wonderful holiday. We will be back next Monday, and hopefully you can get a win, get into the playoffs. Jason's dancing because he's got so much energy because he just threw back this Monster Ultra.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
No, Thanksgiving.
Christmas.
All right, farewell.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Don't forget to visit us on the web at www.thefantasyfootballers.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.